short stories, a novel, light verse, a play for Broadway, and a play for television. It was all, I fear, woefully amateurish. Neither producers, nor editors, nor publishers were at all intrigued. So I continued to write. And I got a job in a small Philadelphia advertising agency as a copywriter. $85 a week to start. Then for the next 35 years, I worked in another Philadelphia agency. This one not so small, and I wound up leaving the creative department, moving into account management, where I became, at age 41, chairman and CEO. The agency years saw me writing 2 or 3 magazine pieces a year freelance for such publications as Golf, Golf Digest, Golf Journal, Philadelphia Golfer, Links, and Golf for Women. And when I retired from the world of Mad Men in 1990, I turned to writing golf books, the first one of which has already been spoken of here tonight. It is the volume I am most proud of, The Centennial History of the Golf Association of Philadelphia. It took me 5 years to crank out this mighty tome, and then came the books on Scotland, Ireland, England, and Wales, followed by the 10-pounder called Where Golf is Great, which covered Scotland and Ireland again, and this time had splendid pictures by Larry Lambert. And as one purchaser said of it to me on the telephone from New York the day the book was published, Mr. Finegan, this is the first golf book that ought to come with a caddy. I might add that this volume was indeed singled out by the USGA, as has already been mentioned. All right. Do you think you can all survive 2 reasonably abbreviated moments from a writer's writing? If I were in attendance and somebody was billed as a writer, I'd like to know, can he really write? That question is still up for grabs. Next year, which is to say in 2011, the British Open, as we like to call it, the British Open is going to be played down in Kent, in England this time, not in Scotland, at Royal St. George's. Royal St. George's happens to be my favorite course in all of England, and I have many favorites, but this is, in my judgment, the greatest course in England. By the 4th hole, we have reached the country of the giant sandhills that give Royal St. George's its renown. On this 417-yarder, the drive, launched from an elevated tee, must be kept left of a veritable Tower of Doom, into which have been clawed 2 ferocious bunkers. One of them almost certainly the most horrific pit ever to confront players in a major national championship. The face of the shorter one is only 12 to 14 feet. The big one has a face that is 30 feet high. And with that mention comes a little story about it. In the 1979 English amateur, Reg Glading finished all square with his quarterfinals opponent after 18 holes. Then, after 3 extra holes, did not give us a winner. Glading drove high into the face of the pit. He could not come at his ball from above for fear of causing a sandslide that would dislodge it. So he slowly inched his way up from below, club in hand. Now he gingerly took his stance, then set his grip. He swung. At the top of his backswing, the sand suddenly shifted under him. And in a grotesque reverse cartwheel, he and the club and the ball collapsed down the slope to the bottom of the pit. As to how many penalty strokes he may have incurred, testing the sand, grounding his club, moving the ball, and neither he nor his opponent would venture a guess. What we do know is that in one inglorious moment, Reg Glading gave no meaning to the term sudden death.